Hi, Matt here. I'm not going to do my usual waffle of waffling on at the start of a video because you would have probably seen the title of the video. And yeah, I have decided to no longer update the channel. And this has not been an easy decision. It's not one I've suddenly sprung to or anything like that. But it has been one that I've been mulling over for quite a while, and this weekend just gone, I kind of made up my mind to no longer update the channel on YouTube anymore. And that's kind of for multiple reasons, and to be honest, I almost almost decided to just not update anymore and just let the channel go into obscurity, or more obscurity if you like. But I felt like for those of you that do still watch the channel, that you at least deserve a reason why I've decided to not update anymore, and that is for multiple reasons. And like I say, I feel like you deserve to know what they are. And first of all, probably the main reason is money. Yeah, good old money. Money makes the world go round, unfortunately, and not in the best of ways, but keeping a channel up to date costs money. It's not just obviously buying equipment to be able to film and stuff like that. I mean, the equipment I've got has seen me through pretty well, but eventually we'll probably need it updating anyway. I had been thinking that the equipment would need updating sometime anyway, and long and short of it, I can't afford it. But every video that I make costs money. Buying the ingredients, and sometimes not cheap ingredients, but also even if I do use cheaper ingredients, it's still cost on top of what I would usually have to buy for myself. But there's also things like gadgets and equipment, and cooking equipment, things like that to test for content. And some of my more successful videos have been testing gadgets like the pizza oven and the rotisserie grill and things like that, which is fantastic, but they cost money. They're not cheap. Basically, if I want to keep doing content like that, I need to buy equipment and gadgets like that, and I can't afford to anymore, quite simply. And when I do buy ingredients, sometimes the video doesn't go right. The video that I tried at the weekend didn't go right. I had 2 attempts at it. It didn't go right, and I had wasted ingredients basically. And that's just not just food I'm wasting, it's it's money, because that's stuff that I've bought and then ultimately I can't use it, and it's money that I can be using for other things. And trust me, money is really tight for me, has been for a while. My general financial situation, without going into detail, hasn't been fantastic for a while. And also basically I had a period of 12 months where I had to move 3 times in that time span, and each move cost me money. I had to put down money for removal costs and storage and deposits and things like that. And that ate into any savings that I have, and I've kind of been trying to build myself up again since then. And I have not got very far, to be honest. But if I am going to get anywhere with it, unfortunately, buying ingredients and stuff with videos is just not going to be possible anymore. So unfortunately, it's a crappy reason, but money is a big reason why I can't do the channel anymore. But it's not the sole reason, and another reason is time, because again, doing videos takes up a lot of time. Sometimes I can do quick videos, but even then, something relatively straightforward, it takes up a good amount of time. It can be a good few hours at least. It's not just making something. You have to set up the camera and then make sure that the audio's right, and make sure that the angle's right, the lighting's right, or as good as I can get here anyway. And and it can make something relatively simple take even longer. But when I do more complicated stuff like giant foods and things like that, it takes even longer, and it can take up a whole day. And I have not much time these days. I have a job that keeps me very, very busy, and when I come home in the evening, I'm usually pretty knackered. I'm also trying to, take better care of myself and do more exercise and stuff. And so I go to like kickboxing lessons now, which is great. It's been really good for me, and I'm also trying to get back into running again. But all of that takes up time, and it's pretty important to me. And I've found myself with less time for filming, and some days it feels like I'm either having to film or exercise, and I haven't got time for both. And unfortunately, really for the channel, is that if I'm going to pick one these days, I'm going to try and choose to exercise rather than film for the channel, because I'm 43 and I really need to try and look after myself. Even then, not just the filming, editing takes up a good amount of time as well. I'm usually looking at least an evening's worth of editing for a standard video, usually more than that for longer videos. So that takes up time as well. And I'll be honest, sometimes when I'm coming in from work, the last thing I want to do then is sit down in front of my laptop and edit stuff. It's just like I've had enough by that point. And I can't get anyone to edit my videos for me because I'd have to pay someone. So unfortunately, time is a big thing, and it links into point number 3, which is my health. And don't worry, there's nothing wrong with me, well, nothing serious as far as I know, but it is just in general, like my health. Like I said, I'm 43 now. I really need to try and take care of myself. A few years ago I was running lots, and I dropped like a good amount of weight. I was feeling good, and then COVID came along and kind of like messed things up, and then after that everything kind of took a dip, and since then my health has bounced all over the place. And I'm trying to get myself back to kind of where I was. I'm definitely better, in a better place than when I started the channel. If you go back to my first video, you can probably see the difference, but even so, I still know I need to take better care of my health, and that's not just running and exercise and that kind of thing. Is being careful with what I eat, and sometimes with these videos I'm not making stuff that's generally very healthy, and because I live by myself, sometimes I end up with more food than I should really have. Sometimes I can take it to work, sometimes I can't. So I end up eating more than I should, and that doesn't help either. That's also not taking into account like my mental health as well, which has bounced all over the place, especially in the last year or so with all the moving and the stuff. But I have ADHD, and I take medication to try and keep it under control, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes like filming videos is really challenging because I stumble over my words and I have to put in a lot of editing to kind of make it coherent. To be honest, it's quite draining, and I have to admit lately it's been harder, and I'm kind of getting to the point where again I just need to kind of take care of myself, and the effort of trying to do videos and trying to focus enough to do videos is hard. And when I need to try and focus to do physical exercise and things like that, again something has to give. Again, it's a real shame because for a while it was really good for me doing the channel, but it was a way of kind of pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because I would never have pictured myself to kind of be on YouTube and presenting videos and things like that. It's just not something I ever would have fathomed myself doing, because I am a very quiet person, and it takes a lot for me to kind of do this kind of thing, and it has been really good for me, but it's getting to the point now where the toll it's taking to do stuff is more than I'm getting back, which is another point. Engagement. This is not a big channel. It never has been. It's been going for nearly 5 years. It's not far off going for 5 years since I set it up, which is really good. I mean, I never, probably wouldn't have expected to last this long. Admittedly, I had a break in the middle, but I came back, and I've got almost 200 videos on the channel, and by that I mean like proper full-length ones, not counting shorts and things like that. And that's a good amount of content. But it's not a big channel. I think I've got about roughly 3,200 subscribers. I haven't checked the latest figures, but it doesn't really matter now anyway. But it's a nice number. It's like, again, 3,200 people subscribing to kind of watch me do anything is surprising to me. But of those 3,200 people, if you look at most of my videos, the views are usually around between 100 and 200. So really it's a small percentage of people who are subscribed that actually watch my videos. I get the odd video that does well, that kind of like beats the algorithm and actually manages to squeeze through and people watch it. The salted food video that I did back in May, I think, was a really good example. It eventually picked up and I got a good amount of views from people who watch salted food, which was amazing because that was one of my inspirations for doing the channel anyway. Salted food, I absolutely love those guys, and the fact that people who love them too picked up on that video was fantastic and was a real highlight. But even my best video, I think, is still like the IKEA meatballs one from like 2020, and that's probably about 65,000 views, which is great. But that's my peak, and that's kind of an anomaly. Excuse you. But usually I get between 100 and 200 views, and I have said in the past that the numbers don't really matter, and that is generally true, as long as everything else about the channel is still working for me. And like I say, with the time, money and health, putting up a video and then only like 100 people watching it when it could be like 3,000 or more, trying to squeeze through the algorithm is really, really hard. And if I get one more person message me on Instagram, WhatsApp or email saying that they are a SEO expert and they will help me with my channel analytics, I am going to throw whatever device I'm looking at out the window because I'm tired of it. And basically getting constant reminders that my channel analytics are crap is just the icing on the cake, really. I appreciate every single person who watches my videos, apart from the ones that leave shitty comments, in which case you can piss off. I've had enough of you lot. But on the whole, the people who have watched my videos have been really, really great, and I appreciate every single person that has supported me and have left nice comments, because they really, really helped when sometimes I've got to this situation and I've wanted to give up before, but you've kept me going. But unfortunately I've now reached the point where I'm not enjoying it anymore, and that is like reason number 5, and a big reason as well. And like I say, before I was doing these videos, I was really enjoying it. I was looking forward to filming and things like that, but unfortunately I've reached the point now where the thought of filming makes me anxious. I worry about trying to fit filming in. I worry about the quality of the videos. I worry about how I come across. I worry that what I'm going to do isn't going to work, or it's going to look crap. And just trying to stand out amongst all the other fantastic food content on YouTube is really, really difficult. And when you suffer with imposter syndrome like I do, it becomes a bit of a burden, really. And it's one that again, with all the other reasons that I've stated, I can't really kind of battle against anymore. So, like I say, I really, really wish I could say that I'm still enjoying it. And I think if I was, then all those other reasons probably wouldn't matter. But I think all of those reasons have stacked up, and I am just not enjoying this anymore, which is really, really sad to say, because I was hoping to kind of keep it going. But I'd be doing it because I feel like I have to, rather than because I want to. And you shouldn't have to do things you don't want to do. It's something that you don't need in your life when you're feeling like you have to do things and you're not enjoying it. Again, that makes me really sad to say that, because I don't want to feel like I don't appreciate everyone who has watched the channel, and if you've been around since the beginning, thank you. Blimey, thank you for making it this far. And if you're new to the channel, I'm really, really sorry that it's kind of stopping at this point since you just discovered the channel. But again, it's the right decision for me at this time. At the moment, I don't see me starting up the channel again. But never say never, but it's not looking likely. I highly doubt I will start this again. I'll probably still post the odd short or something like that on Instagram and TikTok, because those are quick and easy, and I can knock one of those out in the evening and get fairly decent engagement on Instagram and TikTok for those. But YouTube is absolutely terrible for shorts. So it's not really worth me putting them on here. And it feels like, I think if I just start putting shorts on here, it kind of feels like a cop-out. Whereas with Instagram and TikTok, that's kind of what they're for. Whereas, here I've always kind of enjoyed the long-form content, and I feel that's what YouTube always used to excel at. But I kind of feel like things are shifting and people don't really have the attention span as much for long-form content. And I've never been one for short videos, as this probably will demonstrate as well. But that is the reason why I'm no longer going to be updating Big Foodie Geek. I will be keeping the channel up, obviously, and not getting rid of it and not deleting it, but it won't be updated anymore. Unless things drastically change, like I say, it's highly unlikely I'll be back on YouTube anymore, which is really sad, but like I say, it's the right decision for me. Really, again, if you have been watching since the beginning, thank you so much. And if you are a new viewer or you've just stumbled across this, just thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I've got to know some really, really nice people through the channel. Some really nice people, and it has been very, very rewarding for a lot of the time. But unfortunately now, it's just too many things to kind of really allow me to kind of keep it going. So, this has been me, Matt, the Big Foodie Geek, or Big Friendly Grub, as it used to be known right at the beginning. And this is the last video. And thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.